I think because we have undercounted ourselves and underestimated ourselves, we've quite forgotten that we were never a minority. As 1 billion African people on the face of the earth, we can create industries overnight if we decided that we don't wear no underwear we don't make. We don't eat no food that don't come from one of our farms. We don't sleep on no mattresses we don't make. We don't bury our loved ones in any coffins we don't make. We take the coffin industry away from the mafia. We've forgotten our great potential as a people.
Oh, apologize. Thank you for tapping in. It's your man, HRap B, coming at you live and direct. I'm going to be producing and working at the same time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry for the technical difficulties. This is what happens when you do it live. Now, this is the End of the Bench Media. I am Brian HRap B. Williams. This is a few minutes with HRap. Thanking my parents, Dolores and John. Without them, there's no me. Without me, there's no show. You already know. Now, I'm moving fast because my screen froze. I'm going to tell you what happened. My screen froze. www.theendofthebench.com is where you can catch this live and direct. I'm going to edit out the beginning. Hopefully, if not, y'all will understand. Y'all understand this. This is I'm doing this live, so when mistakes happen, they happen. My computer froze. I had to reset. That's why I took an extra 10, 12 seconds to start. This is the End of the Bench Media. I am Brian HRap B. Williams, and guess what? I'm ready to go now. This is work smarter, not harder. Even when you're working smart, there's no way to control what I just went through. What I just went through was a situation to whereas I had to produce on the fly. I had to produce on the fly, had to reset my computer, but we're going to work smarter, not harder. And the reason I even brought that up today is because what we deal with on a regular basis is tyranny, evil, wickedness, and things of that nature. We don't have to bust our back. You know that old adage of, hey man, you got to work twice hard when you're black to get half all that foolishness. No, we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that at all. And the reason we're not doing that is because it's not worth it. I keep telling us that there are far more people who look like us on earth, as well as in this country, than look like anybody else. So why are we busting our hump to put ourselves in a position so they can win? We don't need their W's. They need our dollars. Now, man, they got the money, they have the job. No, they really don't. They really don't. They really don't. Because the reason I say that is this. They don't have the power. They don't have the ambition. They don't have the creativity. They don't have the ingenuity. And when you don't have those things are paramount to success. And when you hold success, you hold the purse strings of success, is this. You put yourself in a position to win, no matter what. And when you put yourself in a position to win, then all you have to do is execute the plan. What we do in our community, from my perspective, is this. We allow others to dictate the narrative. They propagandize foolishness, and then they make it seem like we should be chasing things that we don't have to chase. As I've said before, and I'm going to say it again today, and I'm going to always remind us, history is key and vital to our success. History is key, and it is a vital part of our success. And the reason I say it's a vital part of our success is this. If we don't know history, we cannot win at the rate in which we should. And if we can't win at the rate in which we should, we will consistently be right where we are. And that's not exactly where we want to be. The reason we don't want to be there is because at this point we're literally chasing the dog. We're the dog chasing his own tail. And what I mean by that is this: you have a nation, you have a world of people attempting to be like us. They're mimicking the people in our community. They're using our slang. They're using everything about us, and then they say it's not good enough. They're saying, hey, you got to do this. You got to do it our way. And then when we do it their way, they say it's not good enough. And then you turn around and they're doing it. You hear slang, giving people props. I heard this lady on the news talking about a Republican senator in South Carolina showing up at a town hall meeting getting yelled at. Should we give him his props? No, we shouldn't give anybody their props because, again, they're in a professional setting attempting to kowtow to us, but we continue to dress down, code switch, and things of that nature. That's why we need to work smarter. We need to work smart, not hard. We don't have to work smarter. We're already insanely intelligent. We just need to work smart, not hard, because we're not gonna continue to step up and go out our way to get things in the way that they want to be presented, because the way they want them presented is not the way we want them presented. So let's just work smart, get things done in the way in which we want to do. And then once we do things in the way that we want to do, then we can dictate the terms. We dictate the rules of engagement. People will adapt to us. Thank you for tapping in. Hit that like, hit that share, and you already know, as I said earlier, if you want to watch this or you want to do me a favor, watch at www.theendofthebench.com. Watch it live. You can comment. You can do everything there. You give me and the staff here at the End of the Bench Media the credit and you will always be given the video that I watch. I present history, Black history, and I present historic facts so we can empower ourselves. Now, one of my biggest problems is this. At one point, up until 2 days ago, I was listening to an old Malcolm X speech. Clearly, it was an old one. He don't have any new ones. I was listening to this Malcolm X speech called "The Ballot of the Bullet," the ballot or the bullet, and he touched on some things, but what really struck me is something that he said, something that triggered me into another line of thought. We need to step away from the foolery, the chicanery, the being jokesters. We always, like, if you look at Minstrel Time, the black and white movies, they've had people in blackface playing the role of the fool. And we've always been shucking and jiving and dancing. You watch Good Times. Sometimes it's kind of sickening because you got people rapping and hand slapping and dynamiting and things of that nature. And at one point, up until I listened to the Battle of the Bullet, I said, you know what, I'm never going to call out somebody from our community by name because that doesn't do us any good and blah, 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 yakety schmackety, right? But it's like, no. One way to get people's attention is, especially in this chaotic society, we shouldn't play into the chaos. We shouldn't feed the fire of chaos. What we should do is identify where these fires are coming from and then extinguish them. And the only way to identify where these fires are coming from is to call out people sometimes. You have to say names. You must draw attention to them, and then they will fire back, and then we can either talk about this in private or we can continue to shoot out. But righteousness will always win over foolishness, no matter who presents the foolishness, as long as you are indeed righteous. Now, with that being said, what I want us to do is this. I need us to stop participating in the cultural demise of our people. Now, hip hop is the prevailing culture. And we used to be a straight-laced conservative. In a lot of cases, we still are a conservative culture. But what I want us to do is stop being on TV and on these internets and these social media platforms promoting foolishness. For example, how do we work? How you want to reduce the perception of all this chaotic violence in your life? Stop watching those violent videos on social media. Please stop watching anything that dresses us down. See, they are making money at the behest and at the cost of your class. And I mean that not class as in structure, class as in the way you present yourself. People, look, they did a study a few years back and it said 75% of white people in America self-segregate. That means they purposely get out of your way. They don't want to be around you. They don't want to see you. They don't have any black friends, and they don't want any black friends. And you know what? That's okay. But if the only way you know us is through video, why are we propagandizing our demise? Well, fight videos, people acting a fool over parking spaces, people, women dressing them down. They already sexualize our sisters. Why won't we promote the sexualization of our, further promote that stereotype? No, that's why those big dresses in the 1700s, they were mimicking black women's behinds. We must get away from the propagandized chicanery and foolery. One of the greatest examples is the Breakfast Club. Look, I'm all about pop culture. If you want to celebrate pop culture, please, you want to get your pop culture news from there, please do. The Camerons and the Maces, everything is funny. There's no way under God's blue skies that everything is funny. Charlemagne the God, he consistently, if you're making a point that's too salient or serious, he throws in a joke because he's trying to derail it, because he needs your mental state vibrating very low. And no one says this. Is he an intelligent person? He's an intelligent enough person to understand marketing. That's why he did everybody, well, you never let anything bother you. Yes. See, you want to promote mental health, but then laugh at people who struggling with mental health issues. His co-host, Just Hilarious, she was on there crying the other day. He's making jokes about her crying. This lets you know he is a person put in that position because he's insensitive, who pretends to be. You want to promote mental health, but insensitive about a person having a breakdown. You want to promote women's right and women empowerment, but and then you want to make fun of women who are attempting this. I know I'm just making light of some things in some moments in life. There's no room to make light, but he does this, and this permeates through the community because they say, well, Charlemagne does it. That's why that dude DJ Academic is rich, because he took the Charlemagne blueprint and took it one step too far. See, these are the things. Look, Charleston White is another person. He got out of the penitentiary. He used to be a straight-laced, walking around, square business guy, but he noticed that people like Skip Bayless, the Housewives, Charlemagne, DJ Academics, they're getting rich by making fools of themselves and just taking it one step too far. We have to unplug from one step too far because we're already being propagandized as fools, as lazy, as shiftless, and as clowns. So why would we be on air, no matter where it is, laughing all the time? Some things, look, I understand the concept of, hey man, this is my life, I could talk about it. You're right. But when you start talking about other people's lives, that's when we have a problem. Another example of this is always trying to look at the professional, at the structured professional way. No, there's a right and wrong. Man, I am one of Ryan Clark's biggest fans. He kind of disappointed me last week after I thought about it. His take was excellent, but then he went professional. Who set these standards? Walt Disney? A racist set these standards? Corporate America? Do you mean the same corporate American standards that lock us out all the time, that we had to have laws passed so we could be allowed in? Who said that's the way to do it? How about the way we do it? The way we do it is called a kitchen conversation. If you really have a problem with somebody and it bothers you that much, how about you go straight to that person? It's insane the way they got Stephen A. Smith would air out LeBron James' son, questioning LeBron James' parenthood. Meanwhile, I bet you his boss's son is somebody who's it's one of his superiors. One of the dudes that runs ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, answers to that son. I can almost guarantee you that. Nepotism is paramount in corporate America, but we've figured out a way to make it bad for LeVar Ball and LeBron James to put their sons in place. Guess what? Clive Davis is one of the biggest people in the music industry, and guess what his sons does? He's an entertainment lawyer. How do you think he got his clients? Because Clive Davis is his father. See, these are the things that we keep ignoring and not paying attention to. We have people that go out of their way to pretend, well, this is the game. Has the game worked for us in the last 400 years, the game is always rigged against us. But we keep saying, well, that's how it goes. This is business, not personal. No, it's always business and personal. It is business and personal. If you don't believe me, you have people working their way up to the corporate ladder just to fire other people. You have people in corporate America buying companies because you wouldn't hire me. I thought it was business, not personal. It's never not personal. It's always personal. That's why guys work their butt off to get to the top, to get rid of other people. So we're gonna get rid of those tropes that they created to put us in positions to where we are no longer able to help each other. The music industry been screwing people for at least 100 years. And we keep saying, well, that's just the contract. No, we need to start holding people to different standards. I don't know what Berry Gordy's perception, the way he ran things, but I know one thing. He had a talent division. He had a development division. We need to get back to that. We need to start giving people media training. If you want to sign me to a record deal, where's my media training? See, oh, I'm going to keep it raw and real. No. XYZ is the artist, and my name, HRap is my nickname. Brian Williams is who I am. So on here, I'm HRap. But in the world, well, actually, that's a bad example because I act exactly the way I act online here. But you understand what I'm saying. Charlemagne the God is a character that's played on television. Leonard McKelvey is who he is. When he's operating in those multi-million-dollar situations, he's not Charlemagne. I guarantee you he's addressing himself by his Christian or government name. And that's what we need to start doing. We don't have to follow suit. We can treat each other right. We can be like Percy Miller, a.k.a. Master P. You never hear about people saying Master P cheated me. Well, his son had the issue with him, but that's a family issue. And that's one of the biggest problems as well. If you have a problem with someone, if it's that serious, take them to court. See, once we get into that mentality of take it to court, no matter what, that's when we'll start winning in this world. We will continue to struggle. We will continue, as they say, to stay on the struggle bus as long as we get emotional and start fighting without reason. See, we're fighting with reason, and then we're fighting without reason. And when you fight without reason, you lose. See, instead of getting angry and I'm going to go up there and beat his butt. No, we're not going to get violent. We're going to get legal. And when you get legal, you'll see better results. So when you see better results, you'll understand. And guess how that will help? Because when you get legal and get better results, guess what's going to happen? Then you're going to start getting involved in the running of the government, which I already promote. And when you see how it works, see that legal process, and I'm going to talk about it at the end of the show when I talk about support things like the Urban League and the NAACP, and here Operation Push and other urban organizations that are already doing things and letting us know there's no need to reinvent the wheel. The wheel is here. We need to just get on. We need to put the wheel on our car and drive forward. This is an example of what I'm talking about. You're going to see a portion of this video like you do all the time. And this isn't from One Mic History. This is from BlackHistory.com on YouTube, because what I'm going to show you is part of the reason we are under attack. And I'll be back shortly. I want you to watch this video, and then I'll be back shortly, and we'll get this thing cracking.
People, wait for a second and really understand this question. Not only hate, but people feel jealous of blacks and see them as a threat. Vox reported a study done by the American Psychological Association that showed black people are seen as a threat. This trend has been seen for centuries, but why is that so? Evidence shows that there are some reasons carved in non-black people's minds that subconsciously provoke them to feel jealousy and hate. Well, yes, the underlying reasons are shocking. From the fear of losing their partners to being jealous of black people's physical superiority and fear of getting extinct and genetic annihilation, various reasons trigger jealousy. Welcome to the Black History Archives, a channel where we present the forgotten black history and events that every black or white should know. We feel black people are often misguided by being bombarded with propaganda that forces them to forget their glory. Our goal is to educate you about the factual events that shape everything. Let's build a Black community that grows together. In this video, we will tell you the reasons why Black people are viewed as a threat.
The Black History Archives.
Reason 1, fear of losing partners.
Okay, as I said, I've never played the entire video. You can go to www.theendofthebench.com and watching this entire. They'll get credit for that. The Black History Archives people will get credit as well because it's just a link. And I'll get credit for you visiting, which is create more traffic, which create more revenue, and we continue to grow and expand and grow and expand. But what I want you to understand is this. As you saw, people see us as a threat. Now, we've never captured anyone. You've never heard about a mass attack by Black people. So why are people seeing us as a threat? That's because they're watching the news. That's because the aforementioned Charlemagne and the DJ Envy and the rappers and the movies that propagandize, they just propagate a violent community, and all they see us as is animals, thugs, and entertainment. And this is why, look, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Minister Society, Dead Presidents, the Power Book series, I watch them all, but I also watch other things as well. I'm going to promote a semi-violent television show at the end of this show because y'all know every Friday I give you something to watch. But what I want you to understand is this: we are more multifaceted. We're painters, we're creators, we're intellectuals, we're doctors, we're lawyers, we're the milkman, we're the bus drivers, we're the truck drivers, we're everything in this world, just like every other community in this world. We build things, we're into demolitions, we're into software development. Whatever you're into, we're into. But what we have to do is stop allowing people to create a narrative that puts us in this box, and that box is doing us no good. Now, with that being said, what we must do is stop allowing people to give us excuses about us. Look, we give reasons to accept racism because we try to intellectualize racism. Well, this is why racism happened. There's no smart way to describe racism. Racism is a defect in the next person. Because if you don't know me, you've never had a conversation with me, you don't have the right. You don't have the right to judge me if you live with me for 10,000 years. But you don't have the right to judge me or project what your beliefs are onto me, no matter what. But what we do is Marcellus Wiley challenges Bomani Jones. Anytime I question your intellectual aptitude when you sit your behind on television and question Bomani for questioning Donald Trump's ability to identify and respect other races, cultures, and creeds. I've never heard him do anything racist. That means you haven't paid attention to him. And then you want to say, hey, well, rap music sensationalized him up until he tried to become president. Just because people were not aware of the things that you did before you ran for office does not mean those things are irrelevant or that they didn't happen. Oh, well, you want to go back to the 80s with the Central Park 5. Well, you know what? I haven't seen David Duke do anything racist, and I haven't heard him say anything racist in about since the 80s. So this David Duke no longer a member of the Ku Klux Klan? Steve Bannon consistently says things that are borderline racist. Elon Musk, he had a muscle spasm. That's why he threw the Hitler, the Nazi sign, the Nazi salute up. Right. See, we don't have to hear and see, but what we will do is this. If I always see you around gangbangers, and I always see you around drug dealers, and I've never seen you and all the gangbangers and drug dealers seem to support you, it would lead me to believe that you are a gangbanger or a drug dealer. That's why the RICO Act is in place, because everything that you do seems to be centered around some criminal activity. So what we're going to do is bring up reasonable doubt to why you are a criminal. So if all the racists are aligned with you, all the white supremacists are aligned with you, and all the people who hate people who are not like them align with you, and you refuse to denounce them, I don't know, man. Make me think you're with them. Because you know what? If you align me with anything that's not me, and I have a public persona, I'm gonna ruin that whole narrative, because I don't mess with them. I don't mess with them. I don't mess with them. For example, if anybody ever said, yo, HRap, you kind of remind me of Stephen A. Smith, I'm gonna say, no, the hell I don't, because Stephen A. Smith is playing a game. Stephen A. Smith literally told Professor Karen Hunter on Sirius Satellite Radio, channel 126, you are addicted to reality. Listen to that. You are addicted to reality. She's like, as if that was a bad thing. See, anytime you're playing a game and you know people are following you and you're leading them down the wrong path, you're responsible and you're dead wrong for that. But nobody wants to say, oh man, see, he getting his money, because see, they've tricked you into believing if you get enough money for what you do, you're doing it properly. Either you're doing it properly or you're doing the bidding for someone else, and more than likely you're too stupid to understand that. But the brother Marcellus Wiley, I know he's smart enough, because Marcellus Wiley is sitting back and watching things, and he's picking them apart, and he's addressing certain things in certain instances. Oh, I went to the White House and I'm not a sellout. Nobody ever said you were. But you know what? If you're in a room full of sellouts, again, Marcellus, if you see me online with drinks behind me and marijuana on the desk, what would you assume? You would think I was and people know how much I love hip hop. So you would go, oh, he's atypical hip hop guy. Drinks, girls, marijuana, drugs. Yeah, that's who he is. So if you're in a room full of the people who I know, they are not on the right side of history. They're not going to be on the right side of history. Or what Elon Musk is tightening up the government. Who elected him? Why are we always talking about President Trump and Elon Musk? Two failed businessmen. Because guess what? If people keep getting out of those Tesla cars, guess what's going to happen? Elon Musk going to be on the welfare line. We ain't going to be that bad, but he's not going to be the richest man in the world anymore. See, these are the things that we have to assess before we start, oh man, I'm going to stick up for this guy. We always want, see, I'm going to go over here and listen to them. I don't need to listen to Fox News to know that. All I have to do is understand that they went to court for lying in court. And their response was, well, we're not a real news agency. This is entertainment. But they present themselves as a news organization. Again, ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, and all WGN, all the other stations are allegedly news organizations, and you present yourself like them. Therefore, we assume that it's news, but we know it's not. To your confession. Oh, well, that news channel, well, they said they what? See, these are the things we have to stop giving excuses for people who clearly don't like us, who clearly put us in a box, who clearly make it so it's going to be difficult to be us. Oh, but see, you have to understand. No, I don't have to understand, Marcellus. I don't have to understand any of those things. And I'm not going to understand why you would align yourself with something but that is detrimental to your community. Look, at the end of the day, Marcellus, as you always brag, you're an Ivy League guy. You've made yourself from Compton, California. You pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, and just like I'm smarter than average. And watch this. But all you do is do exactly what Fox News does: give a portion of the truth, wrapped in propaganda, which in essence makes the truth a lie. This is what you do, and it is to get clickbait. You do the same thing Skip Bayless did. I wish Gilbert Arenas would stop engaging with Skip Bayless, because nobody has said those two words, Skip Bayless, in about 4 months. There's just that show went off air. You rarely hear somebody say Skip Bayless in the mainstream populace. But now he got you engaging with him, you getting them paid. You need to see, again, we keep dragging. I'm going to get you. No, nobody punches down. When Isaiah Thomas said that, y'all got mad at him. But Isaiah Thomas was telling the truth. Michael Jordan was barely being at 500 in the 80s. He started killing it in the late 80s, and then in 1990 he killed it, and then he got over the hump in 1991. Isaiah Thomas wasn't chasing Michael Jordan. He was chasing Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and Dr. J. That's who he was chasing. So, Marcellus, you're right. I'm not. You should be punching down at me, but guess what? I understand Skip Bayless. Gilbert, don't be punching down at Skip. Just do your thing, because he needs you to engage with him so he can get rich again, so he can become popular again. He on the struggle bus, brother. Let that bus run out of gas. We always engage with these buffoons and uplift them, and next thing you know, they are competition. Nope, I'm gonna let you die off and go ahead about your business. You done made 65, 70, 80 million dollars lying about LeBron James, saying he's not good enough. Look, about 65% of the players that ever played in the NBA never made it to the NBA Finals. Most guys, when you hear in all the sports, they say, man, I made it to the championship early in my career, and I thought it was going to be like that, and I never made it back. LeBron made it 10 times. This is the first time in the history of sports where losing in the championship round is a horrible thing. When Tiger Woods lose at the Masters, nobody calls him washed up, terrible bum. When he loses at the U.S. Open and all those things, they mention what he has already done. Look, we can no longer allow other people to give us a narrative to who we are and what we're doing. Again, it's time. It's Friday. I'm going to show this clip of this new show called Dope Thief. It's on Apple TV, and this is what we have to do. Start supporting these kinds of things, and we support Dope Thief. And I understand, look, again, it's a violent program. It's a semi-violent program. It's not committed to violence, but it's a violent theme. But I want us to support this because it's a brother on here that he usually puts out good product. We continue to support each other, uplift each other, and put ourselves in a situation that we won't need others. Check this out. This is for entertainment purposes. It's 3 episodes in. Check it out. I want you to dig it in and get back to me next week.
I bet you I could throw mine further than you.
So stupid.
Come on, man. 1,
2, 3.
I'm going to explain to you what we do. We're posing as feds. We're ripping off drug dealers.
You're good. They don't remember your face.
Just a badge.
Here in the 215, you're gonna get your head shot off.
We went to the wrong house. And now these people are looking for us.
Let's go! Let's go!
You took our money and dope. Now I have to kill everybody you know.
These guys are gonna come after us, man.
We can't just run. You got Sherry. I got Teresa.
Ma, you have to leave.
I can't just pick up and go to Atlantic City. I'm an old lady.
Listen, Ma, we had this thing. We was very professional.
Oh, good for you.
But these people are gonna hurt anybody that we care about. We gotta understand who's looking for us, because it's not just dealers.
Go find him. If they offer you a deal, you're gonna take it.
Ray is my family.
I'm your family.
Good and bad, right and wrong. Those are made up by people who never had a gun put to their head. Someone used you.
You're a fugitive who can't leave Philly. What happens if we go to the police?
They come for you, and then they come for Manny.
How bad is it, Ray?
No more secrets, okay?
This isn't us. We weren't killers, Ray.
If we die, when we Dope Thief on Apple TV is a wonderful show so far. 3 episodes in. I don't know how many episodes that season. I just want to support the young brother. I'm not a big fan of Ridley Scott as a person because I've heard things about him. But again, this is what we have to do. This leads me to the end of the show about support. See, the best way to do this thing is that, as I stated at the beginning of the show, we ain't reinventing the wheel. We are going to use the wheel to put it on the car and move forward. And what I mean by that is when we see things that we're not happy with, instead of going online and cussing and screaming and hollering and acting a fool with each other, we're going to start reaching out to each other behind the scenes. We can no longer support the people who do that. You know, it's funny when you see the housewives, that's why I slept with your husband. But we got to stop putting that in our mind because we are normalizing classless behavior. Women don't throw drink. Black women are not throwing drinks in each other's faces. Black women are not rolling around in the street fighting over parking spaces, yelling and screaming and cussing at each other. By and large, it doesn't happen. Of course, it does. Drug addicts. There's only less than 10% of the population use drugs, so we do have drug addicts, but not as many as you would think. People who are in organized crime or criminal organizations, street organizations, those people exist, but not as many as you think. We have to stop propagandizing foolishness and tomfoolery. We must share the good music. We must start supporting things. Oh, well, the good music you can't really dance to and party to. Yes, you can. Ask Stevie Wonder. Ask Al Green. Ask the OJs. Ask Anita Baker. Ask Whitney Houston. Ask Jill Scott. Ask India Ari. Ask Moo Moo Fresh. And ask Music Soul Child, and so forth and so on. The things are out there. We have to stop being lazy and wait for people to give us stuff to listen to and then start seeking it out. Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Fonte, Lil Brother, as a matter of fact, Smith & Wesson's new album is positive as all get out. They come from a street perspective, but it's all about being positive. They talking about going to heaven. They talking about being adult. We no longer talk about, in the song, they said we no longer talk about street stuff. We actually having coffee now. We're going to juice bars. They are uplifting things. They are vibrating on a high level. We can no longer participate in these things. And again, as I stated before, if you have issues, this is when we need to come together as a community and have conversations with each other. And once we have conversations with each other, guess what's going to happen? We're going to have these conversations with each other. And then we're going to decide, hey, if we're part of the Divine Nine and we're part of any lodges or anything of that nature, the Masonic lodges, things of that nature, the Eastern Stars, we need to start having these conversations with each other because we have a nationwide outreach. The Divine Nine, you have millions of members. So if your cousin is struggling, your aunt is struggling, your friend is struggling, he's not part of your organization, you guys have attorneys at your behest, you have doctors at your behest, you have authors at your behest, and we can start these petitions and start organizing. Do you see the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are fighting all week? You got foreign countries linking up to diminish the dollar in the United States of America. We're on the precipice of another recession, aka depression. So what do we do at this point? We do exactly what we did in the late 20s, 30s, 40s, and mid 50s. We come together, we shop with each other, create our own communities, and then we get into politics for this reason and this reason only. As the great Malcolm X said, the Democrats are fox, Republicans are wolves. They're both part of the K9 family, and they're both on our asses. One of them going to slow you down for a slow death. The other one is going to run up on you and try to murder you. At the end of the day, you're still not going to be here. So what we do is upgrade, infiltrate, just like they did with us with COINTELPRO, the Black Panther Party, Self-Defense, the Nation of Islam, the ACLU, SNCC, the Southern Christian Ministry. They infiltrated all those organizations. Hell, the Crips, the Bloods, the GDs, the Vice Lords, the Latin Kings, the MS-13. They always infiltrate. So why don't we just infiltrate those parties and have enough of us that look like us, and then we infiltrate and we present as we are something else, and then we vote in the other direction. And then we have people like the NAACP legal defense team, and we start donating money because we got a petition at the NAACP, and now we're invested. Now you got a petition there, and you donate money. Now you invest it, and when you invest it, you can come in and say, "Y'all need to address this. Y'all need to address this. And y'all need to address that." We can no longer wait on other people. The Tea Party did it, and other entities that are now in charge of the government, they did it that way, and now it's time for us to do it that way. That's the only way we win this fight. And I do mean win this fight. I'm not trying to contend anymore, and I'm not trying who are they to be equal to. I'm trying to win. But the difference is when we win, we don't try to destroy anybody. We don't try to annihilate anybody. We don't try to belittle anybody. We just live our happy lives, defending ourselves at all costs, raising our children, and making peace. With that being said, this is HRap B. I will hope and pray that you can thank you for the 10 people who have subscribed this week. It has been great. I want you to hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend, to tell a friend, to continue to tap in. Hit that like, hit that share, and y'all already know. I'll see y'all Monday afternoon with a few minutes with HRap, and Monday evening on the forecast. 2 fingers, 1 word.
And it is necessary for those people who rule over us and who rule over African people the world over, if those people are to stay in power, they must destroy our ability to love each other in a healthy sort of way. This is why